to go South Central. Kaiso Showcase 2024 invites you to Vintage Night, Friday, 2nd February. Showtime 8 p.m. City Hall Auditorium, Harris Promenade, San Fernando. Come see the stars of Kaiso Showcase performing Calypso classics through the years with performances by Queen Victoria, Lady Adana, El Drago, Pharaoh, Eunice Peters, Miguel Simon, Mr. Mac, and Alicia Richards, with a special performance from the Dread Wizard, Charlon Bailey. Music by the band, Razor Sharp, Chorus, the Kaiso Flames. Your MC, Damian Melville. Admission $100. Tickets available at Rock Coffee Street, Sion's, Royal Road, Athletes by the Park, and at the venue on the day of the show. Kaiso Showcase 2024, Vintage Night. It's Kaiso Wall to Wall, Friday, 2nd February. Showtime 8 p.m. City Hall Auditorium, Harris Promenade, San Fernando. It's gonna be stiffer than silk, stiffer than ever. You've got to be there.
You've got to be there. We head in San Fernando because down there are plenty some more thanks to the Kaiso Showcase with their Vintage Night. And today joining us on the Now Morning Show, PRO of the Kaiso Showcase, Carver Thompson, along with Pharaoh, better known as, well, government name, Taryn Greenedge, the Calypsonian that is. Join us on set to tell us more. So, gentlemen, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure to have you, especially in this season when you're in high demand and making sure that you fly the culture flag high. So, thank you for taking the time to do so, but I'm jumping right in, Carver, because I have to ask how on earth you all decide who are going to be your guest performers as well as the persons featured on the cast. Some phenomenal names.
Well, that will be a job that the executive took on itself. We would sit down and debate who we're going to have and who is the ideal person. In years gone by, we would have some of the icons. You know, this year will be is a little different. But to sit down and decide on that, you know, I would have someone that I like. The chairman might have someone he likes. You know, the vice chair as well. So it is a debate going back and forth to choose the right person. Actually, when we finalize the cast, you would realize, hey, something missing, somebody missing here. Okay, so we would tweak it and add and pull out something. So that's how we end up with this final cast.
Right. And this one also includes Devon Seals, another guest performer as well.
Yes.
All of this for $100?
All of that for $100.
Not easy.
Yeah. And mind you, there might be a surprise guest performer too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Might be a surprise.
If Pharaoh, you want to come in here and tell me any of the names or any performers, guests or surprises?
Well, I wouldn't know about the surprises. No, but is some of Kaiso Showcase cast members for 2024. So as you would have heard on the ad, El Drago, Queen Victoria, etc. I mean, the ad says it all.
Right.
You know, and myself included.
And myself, yeah, don't forget yourself. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the preparation process, though. I mean, behind the scenes, Calvin, they had the debates, as he put it. Yeah. But in front of things, at the front of things, rather, you would have had your rehearsals. There is a live band to work with. What sort of prep were we looking at to put on the show?
Actually, we already started the preparation for the 2024 season, and then I got a call that you were selected to be on the cast for the show. Because what they normally do is, like, if you have another show, they would split. So everybody wouldn't do everything at one time.
Right,
so we would have the youth explosion, and they pick on certain amount of cast members, and then I got picked for the vintage because I normally do the retro style, you know. So that's more or less like it, and we would have had rehearsals with the band. So you had to get your scores, choose your song, you know, and take it from there.
Now, one of the things I particularly appreciate about Kaiso, about generally tent life and those sorts of specifics, is the use of the bands, live bands. You're getting some brass, you're getting all the instruments, and of course, professional players getting a space. Carver, let's talk a little bit about that, because we often talk about Calypso dying or the need to create the space for the vintage and that sort. But we also have a space there for musicians, professional musicians.
Yeah, well, me being a musician myself, I'm also a producer. And being on the executive of Kaiso Showcase, which is a plus to the Calypso tent, you have a musician, a producer, as well as a songwriter. You know,
triple threat.
Yeah, triple threat. it's important, really important for artists to be on stage and knowing that they could turn back and smile at somebody, hearing that brass blowing right there. Then you have a DJ pulling you up. And nothing against DJs, eh?
Of course not.
Okay?
He looks across the rockers.
You pull back and you tell the drummer, break it down.
Right.
Pull down the music. As them guys will say, pull up, you know? Yeah. So it's nice having a band on stage and for musicians because I think this is the time of the year that most of the musicians are employed because we have a few Kaiso tents around the country and each of them have a band, you know? And I think it is really, really important for us to keep that music going and keep the musician employed. Absolutely. Not only during Carnival time, after Carnival as well.
Well, Kaiso Showcase boasts the title of the world's #1 Calypso tent.
We are the world's #1 Calypso tent.
How do you do that? How do you manage to continue that title?
When we go out, when we put a cast out, have you ever been to any, as a matter of fact, I will give you a ticket to one of the shows. An open invitation to you and your staff members to one show and you would see for yourself. Walk with the camera crew and you would see for yourself why we are the #1 tent. Yeah.
I will take you up on that offer.
I wouldn't sit down here and boast. You come and see for yourself.
I like that. I like that energy. And in terms of that cast, normally, as you mentioned, Farah, they usually roam. They are different locations, that sort of thing.
Yes.
Will we be seeing that motion happening again if we do catch this show, unfortunately, on the second?
Yes, we have a clash with Kaiso House.
Kaiso House.
Kaiso House, and I was just informed sometime around 4:30 this morning by Mr. Thompson that we have a clash with Impulse Tent coming up, you know, and we have a matinee show that will be on the 28th. So there's a couple of shows still until the end of the season.
Right, sharpening those chops. I like
Sharpen
that.
already.
And the name of the band is Razor Sharp, eh?
I know.
Yes, so sharp, right?
Yes, so sharp already.
all the time.
Yeah, sharpened already.
Well, as much as the ad did in fact tell us some of the locations where you could get tickets, could you remind us, Carver?
Well, you get tickets at WAC, Sion's, and Tuku office, which recently moved to Skinner Park. We were at City Hall in San Fernando and we recently moved to Skinner Park. Yeah.
And in that case, we're heading out for that vintage night. Of course, they're going to be featuring the Dreaded Wizard along with Davon Seals. And it's all for just $100.
$100. I think you have tickets at Ateliers as well. Yeah.
And of course, they're available at the venue on the night.
Yes.
Kaiso, that's how we do it still.
Kaiso, you know, and the thing is we're inviting the public to come out and support our talent. Because you find that they say Kaiso are dying, but it can be dying when we have our vintage people still around, the people who make it, the music, who make the music that we still dance to today, you know, that DJs still play today, that was done years ago. Yeah, it's good to keep that alive.
Perfect. And on that note, guys, we are going to wrap things up there. I'm going to make sure that you could go back to the band, get that rehearsal in, that final rehearsal in, and of course, continue your preparation as we get ready for Vintage Nights as the Kaiso Showcase puts on a grand performance. Down south, February 2nd, you have time and you have the option to get your tickets. But as we head to the break, here are some highlights of Judges Night at the Kaiso Showcase. Guys, in our morning show, we'll be back after these messages.
When the rain falling, the men in a chair. When that's a big bang, it's the sun pan. Travel cross country to talk to every elder, every youth, cause it's plain to see. No serious issues, Jack discussing. Jack mix up here and take with Calypso. Skin and grin and playing, they don't know. Change the label and want to call it dumb. I can't jump. Mr. DJ, I want to hear Calypso. I'm so complaining all night and day. Oh, Mr. DJ.
You see that he made my daughter this phone, but didn't know they own